How you doing? This is Brotha T. If you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts and other merch right there in the description. Just hit the link.
You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So before we get started, we have to let you know that we call this channel T's Life Tree, and on this channel we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, and you'll get it. Before we get into the episode, I need you to do me a favor though. I need you to like and subscribe. I need you to like and subscribe so we can continue to give you these little pine cones of wisdom. While you're at it, hit that notification bell so you can get the notifications, and leave a comment whenever you get ready. You can leave it now if you want, and say, hey, Brotha T, you look great and it's going to be awesome. Just kidding with you. All right, so let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about soul ties. This is going to be a deep one. Creating soul ties, right? How soul ties can keep you back, hold you back, literally tying you down, right? And it happens different ways for different people, but I absolutely believe in soul ties. You can see it all around you all day long. So let's talk about soul ties. Ready? All right, before we go into what soul ties are, we want to look at our makeup as human beings, right? I want you to keep in mind that we are made up of mind, body, and spirit. So if we separate them one by one, the spirit is who you really are. That's the real you. All right, that's the spirit. Now the soul is your mind, your will and emotions, and the body is just, that's what houses the soul and the spirit, right? So that's your outer shell. So if you know that, then that helps you understand how we can create soul ties and how they can keep us back and keep us down. Now some people will say mind, body, and spirit. That's because soul is your mind, right? Your mind and your will, that's your soul. Okay, so either way you put it, still in the same category. All right, so let's get into soul ties. Now that we know that breakdown, it'll help you understand it better, trust me. Now, like I just said, the soul, that's your mind, that's your will, that's your emotions. Soul ties, for those that have created them, you'll know that soul ties are tied to your emotions. That's why sometimes if you have a great sexual experience, it's hard to get yourself, especially for women, and when women get emotionally attached to somebody and they have sex with them, it's harder for them to pull away from that relationship. It's harder for them to get away from that situation, sometimes because of soul ties. And the soul tie has got there and ingrained itself so deeply, right? It's not for a lot of arrogant men out there. It's not just because you're just good at that act, right? It's another thing going on, right? It's another dynamic. Even if you think it's meaningless and emotionless, usually at least one party has something attached to that, even if you guys have an agreement. How many times have you heard it when you see two people get into a no strings attached type situation, and then one of them catches feelings, maybe even both of them at a point? That's because of that soul tie dynamic. They might go into the situation like, yeah, I can handle this. This is cool. This is a great situation. I get something out of this, right? And then they start catching feelings. That's because of the soul ties. Even though they don't want to catch feelings, they still do. Now, for you ladies out there, I want you to keep in mind, men, we can kind of detach ourselves from these situations, from sexual situations. We can, not totally. Okay, we can, soul ties can affect us, but understand on a general level, you'll be affected more emotionally by things. So if the sexual situation becomes a situation that can become emotional, you'll be more affected than the guy. That's why guys, if they're not tapped into their feminine side at all, they can get over this quick, and they can move around, and they can do it many times, right? And it's in our natural makeup to spread our seed. Now, I'm not saying guys do that, and I'm saying all guys do that. I'm saying it's possible for us to be that way and it not affect us. And it's a little it'll seem more natural to us. It's going to be a little harder for you to do it. And you know what I'm saying. You might disagree with me. You might be on the women's lib thing, like we do everything men do. Go ahead and try it. I'm telling you, you're going to catch feelings sometimes. It's just going to happen. You might try to deny it, but every now and then you're going to catch a feeling. Even for women that do the opposite of what I just said, look at their lives. I guarantee parts of their lives, they live more masculine, okay? That just means you're more in your masculine, which actually still proves my point. Listen to women that are very, very sexual and upfront with their sexuality. Women that claim they own their sexuality and they're open sexually. Listen to them talk. They sound like men talking about it. They do. They sound just like them. And it's not a coincidence either. It's just because they are more in their masculine when they do that. That's all. Okay, so how can we avoid these soul ties? By making better choices. Now, there are going to be times where you're going to create a soul tie no matter what. Okay, that's just you. Sometimes you can't control that, but you can create healthy soul ties. That's what I'm saying. By choosing better mates, better people, more people that have integrity. Okay, now if you just choose somebody just based on physical alone and that's it, and they're a dirtbag, then guess what? If you get pregnant, or if you get into a situation where you have a husband and you're cheating with that guy because he has the best sex ever, yes, you're setting yourself up. That's a soul tie that's keeping you attached to that guy, and it can become very unhealthy. It can have you make bad choices in your life. It can make you try to pin a baby on your husband just because you're with your husband, even though you're still having sex with this guy. He's the real baby's father and all that stuff. And now you're creating a manipulation situation because this guy's taking care of the kid. He's paying for everything. And then you go back and have this great whatever time with this other guy, and he's not liable. And he's not liable. He's not, taking the responsibility that he should be taking. It creates a mess, and eventually, usually it's going to come out at some point, right? And then you're sitting there and you're looking like the crazy one. All you did, you created an unhealthy soul tie. Sometimes when people sneak off and cheat, they'll create an unhealthy soul tie. You can avoid this by making better choices. It's very easy. I can't even break it down even in a simpler way. What else can create a soul tie for you? If you're a lady and you choose bad again, but you had this guy living with you, or you had this guy, he's sitting on the couch, he's playing PlayStation, he's eating cereal while you're out working for the money, and you come home, he hasn't done anything all day but play, I don't even know I don't play video games, but Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty came out, that's what he's been doing all day. 12 hours you've been working, trying to take care of the family, you come home, he's still sitting there. So you're creating a soul tie with this dude. You shouldn't be with this dude. Now, when you try to leave him, it's hard to leave him. So now you feel sorry for him. You know what I mean? You're giving him a certain amount of time. And even if you do end up leaving, it's like hard to separate it, right? You ever wanted to separate from something, but it was so hard? You know what I mean? You almost felt bad for doing it. It's a soul tie. A soul tie that's keeping you together, keeping that string on you. You might separate, and if you have kids, forget about it. He's going to be in and out. He's going to try to get back in, and then you're going to feel sorry for him every now and then. That's a soul tie, okay? And we call those dudes hobosexuals. Now, I heard that on one of the TV shows, and I thought it was so hilarious that I stole it, right? So hobosexual, a dude that's being with a woman or sleeping with a woman or whatever to have a place to stay. You know what I mean? It's hilarious, right? So I want you to make better choices out there. And for the ladies and the men, like, soul ties can really ruin you. It can ruin you financially. I just gave you an example. If a woman's sitting there taking care of this dude and she spending all her money trying to take care of the family, and he's not doing anything to support or take lead in that situation, he's ruining you financially, right? You're taking care of another kid. It can ruin you physically, right? That soul tie that you keep running back to, that you can't get enough of, that you can't leave even if you wanted to, that can end up with you with diseases. It can end up with you dead sometimes. It can end up with you getting killed, and being jealous and getting into fights, and you might end up in jail. You don't know. All right. So soul ties can be very dangerous depending on what type of soul tie it is, and it can hurt you spiritually. right? It can hurt you spiritually. And let me give you an example. Let's say you have this sexual relationship with a certain individual. Let's say you're a woman and you have a soul tie with a man, and you like the way the sex goes, but you don't like anything else about him. You hate him. You hate his guts other than the sex part, right? And that's your choice. But I'm saying you might be creating a soul tie. And why am I saying this? You know, you're going to church. You know you have this unhealthy sexual relationship with this guy over here. You're going to church, but you're praying for the right husband. You're praying for a good man. The God, universe, whoever sends you a good man. He's right in front of your face, but you know you're still tied to this guy, right? So you might not want to be with this guy that God sent you because you don't like his swag. You think that that it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good in the bedroom. All that. You don't know though, but you're guessing because you're looking at the outer shell. You're looking at the guy. You might be he might be articulate. He might be nice. He might be respectful. He might be a gentleman, and that might throw you off because you're used to these bad boys. You keep creating this soul ties with these bad boys over here, so you might look past this guy. Like, I'm not going to deal with that guy. I don't want him. You just don't know that the entity that you've been praying to, God sent you that individual. You worried about the sex over here. So it can ruin you spiritually too. So make better choices so you won't be ruined by soul ties mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, or what have you. Okay. And the same thing for guys. I know I've been concentrating on the ladies this time because I think it affects you more often is what I'm getting at. That's the only reason. It's not because I think this and that. No. It's because I know it affects you on a deeper level sometimes. Okay. It can affect men too. Like, when you get a piece of good, you can go crazy too. Okay. But it doesn't happen as often with men as it does with women. So, all right. So please don't argue with me about that. So this has been your man, Brotha T. I enjoyed spending time with you, family. And if you made it this far into the episode, then I know you rock with me, right? I know you rock with me. So I'm going to take time just to thank you and tell you that I don't take it for granted that you're looking at these videos and that you are influenced in some kind of way by me. All right, so I'll catch you on the next episode, family. I like chopping it up with you, and this was a fun one, man. I'm gonna come back with a good one though. Peace. I'll see you next time.